Dogs, man's best friend. The one thing they cannot do, however, is protect your online information. Enter the sponsor of this video, Incogni. Yeah, the downside to this wonderful age of information that we all so enjoy is that our data is out there, being gathered by data brokers and sold to advertisers without you even knowing about it. Yeah, all those spam emails and 9 a.m. robocalls you get now, that's what that is. The good news is you have the right to tell these data brokers to delete the information they have about you. The rub is that would take years to do even if you knew where to start. Enter Incogni. They're the muscle who's got your back. Incogni on your behalf will tell these data brokers to delete the information they have about you. Be like, delete that information now! So you don't have to. There's some shady stuff that people can do with that information. Open a loan in your name that you might not even know about. Health insurance companies can raise your rates based on your online activity. Safe to say we slept on the warnings because we didn't think Big Brother would be so open market. Yet here we are. So protect yourself and your information. Click the link below and use promo code JeremyJohns and get yourself an exclusive 60% off an annual Incogni plan. And now get ready, dog people. This one's for us. I don't even know why I put these on for the transition. Anyhow, so Arthur the King is a movie starring Mark Wahlberg. He's an athlete who partakes in these athletic competitions, these long-form marathons. But as he's aging, he's never had a win. He really wants a win. He's on his last athletic leg, so to speak. Also, quite literally, there's a guy in his team who does have a bum knee. But he gets his crew together for one last shot at athletic glory. Also, he meets a dog along the way. He names Arthur. You see now why it's called Arthur the King, not King Arthur. Be very confusing for people to go to the movie. Right, first of all, this movie is it feels like two movies, which feels a little disjointed at times, but I did appreciate that they treat the dog like a character. While he and the Funky Bunch are out there doing the competition, it shifts over periodically to touch base with the dog. See what he's doing, scrounging, running away from other dogs. They kind of treat him like Zack from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is happening. Yeah, okay, here, for sure. All right, now this is happening. I appreciate that the movie makes an attempt for the dog to not feel like an afterthought who ends up just kind of strolling into this movie at a point. As for the athletic or competitive angle of the movie, it actually had some pretty intense moments that surprised me. I thought it was gonna be all right, this sappy story about this guy who meets this dog, and well, it kind of is that. But before this dog actually joins the team at about the halfway point, you have to keep the audience engaged with the characters you have. I was impressed with the fact that the movie not only got going with the competition, some pretty solid time, but while we were on the competition, I was engaged with the competition itself. I wasn't like, oh, where's the dog? Some solid moments of tension, one in particular with the zip line. I mean, the movie is based on a true story, which means half of it is going to be fabricated, the other half is going to be exaggerated, as is the case with every based on a true story film ever. That zip line scene, I was like, I want to do this. I want to do it. So wait, do I just need sponsors and then I can do it? But the fact is, it's one of those movies. You know the movie, you saw the trailer, you were like, oh, it's one of those movies. Like Iron Will without the snow. I've always had a soft spot about those underdog stories. I mean, quite literally, in this case, it's an underdog story with an underdog. Brilliant! That's how it got greenlit. That's the pitch. But those underdog stories wrapped around sports, it's as safe, family-friendly, and feel-good as that sounds. At a point in the movie, there is, light spoilers, I guess. It's information that drops around halfway through the movie. It has to do with how Mark Wahlberg's character actually fronted the money to get into this competition. He didn't get all of the sponsorship money. So he's telling one of his teammates, like, yeah, it's my last shot. I had to take $50,000 out of my wife's life savings in order to do this. Strongly implies that she didn't know about it, so maybe that's where the based on a true story fabrication or exaggeration's coming from. The movie either lied about it happening or it kept out the divorce entirely. It made his character less likable, even made the filmmakers look ignorant to the fact. It's kind of executed in a way that looks like those behind the camera making the film don't know that they just told the audience that the lead character stole money from his wife. I was like, well, I like him less now. Lucky there's a dog. You kind of see that with Simu Liu's character, who's a social media influencer. He has a huge following on Instagram. And at the very beginning, Mark Wahlberg's character is this leader of this group. He makes a bad call. He's very brash, very arrogant, doesn't listen to people, and he gets everyone in trouble. They run into a tough spot. They lose the competition. Simu Liu's character blasts him on social media, on Instagram. Ruins his reputation, his possibility for getting sponsors going forward. The movie does address that. He struggles with the fact that that moment is what he's going to be remembered by, not everything he did before it. That's actually it's a pretty heavy topic. And although Mark Wahlberg's character does have that heart-to-heart with Simu Liu's character, where Mark Wahlberg's like, look, back when, you're right, I didn't listen. and I screwed up. But it's one-sided. It never has the other side of that conversation where it's maybe someone with a huge social media platform shouldn't blast people on social media because it could ruin their life. As they say, both can be true. Person A could be a bad leader. Person B could play fast and loose and irresponsible with the social media blasting. Turn a teachable moment into a got 'em moment, and that's different. I will say the last 20 minutes or so of this movie is the biggest emotional roller coaster. It was just like, oh my God, I can't handle this. Is everything gonna be okay? Is it not? Is it a movie that's stringing you along while holding a knife behind its back, ready to thrust it into your heart at some point? I can't always handle these dog movies, man. You see a dog on the poster or the trailer, 50-50, you're gonna be an emotional wreck by the end. The movie did end in a way that I felt was satisfying. Take that as you will. So I feel like if you're a dog person, the movie's made for you. If you enjoy underdog sports movies, the movie's also made for you. If you're both, the movie's tailored for you. If you're a cat person, well, The Marvels isn't in theaters anymore, so you're gonna have to watch it on your friend's Disney Plus account, which you are siphoning for free. It's safe and cheesy at times, but in terms of family night out at the movies, it's a solid pick. It was an engaging underdog athletic competition film with a sweet dog angle to it. A couple of missed marks with some character moments aside, found the movie to be a pretty good time. No alcohol required. All right, so Arthur the King, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what's your favorite underdog story? Lord of the Rings. Even the smallest person can change the course of the future, so Galadriel says. That's an underdog story if I've ever heard it. Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.